Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan.
Our next guest is Crystal Stevenson from Diamond Cut Insurance. Crystal has been a local insurance agent for over 25 years now. Back in October 2016, she made the plunge and opened up Diamond Cut Insurance with her business partner and hasn't looked back. Her agency is local and independent and does all types of insurance. As a fourth-generation resident of Snohomish, Crystal stays busy traveling up and down 405 to counsel her many business owner clients. She loves living in the Pacific Northwest, and she takes pride in the fact that she helps to create jobs as an integral part of the community. Besides counseling people on their insurance needs, Crystal is a mom of 2 boys, and as of this year, a new puppy named Mila. Nothing calms her after a long day, like working out in her yard, and her flowers are the envy of the neighborhood.
Huh.
Crystal, tell us a bit about yourself, your hobbies. What
kind of dog is this, by the way?
Yeah, you got to hear that.
It is a golden doodle.
Yeah, doodle.
Golden doodle.
Yeah, and she is a doll.
How old is she?
A year, May.
Does she help you garden?
She helps me do everything.
I love it. This is a show like with dogs. Everybody that so we can talk about your dog as much as you want, about your flowers.
Well, I think my dog is the smartest, cutest dog. So.
Well, yesterday I took a walk around the backyard with one of my clients. We're going to be listing her house, and she walked through the yard and showed me every plant and all that stuff. And I'm not somebody who like loves the garden, but I can appreciate it. So tell me, why are your flowers the envy of the neighborhood?
I am passionate about flowers.
Okay.
I love everything to do with flowers.
Weren't you a florist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep,
of course.
before I
That
got
makes
into
good
insurance.
sense. So, all right. So your hobbies are raising your kids, playing with your dogs, doing all that good stuff. So tell us about the home you grew up in, Snohomish, and a fond memory.
I have so many great memories. I would say the one that comes to mind first is on snow days when schools would be closed. We would be the house that everybody would come to because we lived at the bottom of this amazing hill that now they've closed off.
Oh. Well, they closed off, so now you can go down it, right?
Yeah.
No. They used to close it off because it was such a steep hill. It would go into the road.
Oh.
So, but back then we didn't worry about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we would get our sleds out and race to the bottom. And then when we would get cold, my mom would have hot chocolate waiting for us. We'd sit on the wood stove. We were only allowed to do that on winter days and warm up and then go back out. And do it
again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what do you do when you're not, besides the flowers, any other interests? Yeah.
I love everything outdoors. I love to hike. We live on a lake, so I love to play in the kayak or or just sit there and listen to the birds. We love to camp. We go to Deception Pass as a family every year, and we're going to do that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it is my favorite vacation.
Do you kayak through the pass?
No.
There's a race there?
I am not part of that race.
No, I know. It's like beat the tide or something. I can't remember what it is, but they start, when the tide's going out or ebbing or whatever the heck
That's
it is,
crazy.
and they fly down it. Yeah.
Crazy.
When I go through there, I got to go with the current because the current goes faster than my boat.
Yeah.
So what kind of insurance do you provide? What do you do?
We do all types of property, casualty, life insurance. We do stay completely away from medical insurance. We leave that to medical insurance specialists
crazy
and don't get into that at all. But all types of property.
Like our
casualty.
friend Angel, she does that.
Exactly.
She's been on the show.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So all different types. Is there anything? You do home and auto, you got that, but is there anything specifically that you find is your strength?
Well, we do home and auto. We've always done personal and commercial insurance, but we've recently, over the last year, really changed our focus to get out of the personal lines home and auto and really focus on business insurance for growth.
Okay.
So we do all types of business insurance and everything to do with business insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've done a little bit of commercial real estate. It's not really my cup of tea, but helping a friend out. And some of the insurance is really complicated to write.
A lot of it is really complicated to write.
So you really need somebody that knows what they're doing. I think some of the landlords are pretty daunting in their requirements. I don't know if you've run into that.
Yeah, and a lot of what we do is counseling rather than just writing policies. A good majority of what we do is counseling on what they've gotten themselves into or how they need to cover themselves better.
So give us an example of that. Tell us, what does that mean, counseling?
Well, a lot of time. Well, just before we got here, I was talking to an electrician who said that he wasn't sure where his auto insurance was, and he wasn't even sure if it was the right auto insurance. And he has this liability policy
Because he's driving a truck with equipment.
And he just got insurance because he was supposed to have insurance. Well, if you think about the risk you have, you really should make sure somebody looks at your coverage to make sure whatever your risk is. I mean, do you have employees? Are you covered for that? So, I mean, there's just a lot of things that go into it. And so what we do is look at what their need is and give recommendations.
Okay. So with regards to connecting our listeners with real estate and in the insurance that you would write, give me some ideas. Where does it intersect with real estate?
So much of it. Well, we write, in trying to stay in the commercial focus, we write commercial policies for landlord or for owners that own lots of different rentals. We can list them on a business policy instead of just a whole bunch of
investment properties.
Right.
Gotcha. So that's written on one big policy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that like an umbrella policy? Is that...
No, an umbrella is a policy that covers over those.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
this is specifically on the real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and something that would be really speaking to your listeners are, I know you guys are a personal real estate space, and everybody thinks that they can flip a house.
Ah, yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And so, and they might be able to, but in Washington State, you have to have licensed
contractor.
Insured.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're on that hook.
Yeah.
For anything that happens for 7 years.
L&I is really tight on that, and most people, I mean, that's the area I educate people that want to flip is...
Well, it's amazing how many people call our office and say that they've been doing it and didn't know that they were supposed to be licensed, bonded, and insured. And you can't go backwards on your work. So,
yeah, that's kind of a
so
risk
that means
for them.
you can't insure any of the stuff they did already.
Exactly.
Wow. So if anybody's thinking about, flipping properties, they need to talk to you first.
They do.
And get set up.
We give a lot of counsel on that.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So there's business insurance. What are the types of businesses that you insure?
Well, we are a generalist. So we write everything. We don't specialize only in like restaurants or specialize only in apartment buildings. We don't do that. We started our agency being the agent that can help other specialists. So we work really well with a lot of the State Farm, Allstate, because they write certain types and they need somebody to help them insulate the customers they already have from being taken away, and then writing that other policy that they can't write.
What kind of policy? The business policy?
It just really depends.
So then if I think about, I've got an individual that is buying a property that's zoned commercial. It's a commercial property. And property and casualty would not be the type of insurance binder that they need. They need to talk to you.
Well, what are they doing with?
It would be like a showroom and an office space, something like that.
Yeah. That would be a business policy.
Okay, so because I always separate insurance in the physical property, and then I also, when I think of business insurance, I think of business liability insurance.
Right.
So I'm kind of like putting the two together in this instance. So one, they would insure the building as a commercial property.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed use buildings.
Yep.
And that's perfect for commercial.
Okay. So what's some of your most challenging clients that you've solved a great problem helping them?
It's usually coverage. It's really amazing how many times people get insurance and haven't had correct counsel, probably not intentionally. Maybe they're new to the business. But I mean, we've had a restaurant that when we took it over, we found that they had a gap in coverage because the liability form that their policy was written on was a premises only. And so when they had their beer garden outside of their premises, that actually excludes coverage. There's no coverage for that.
Oh,
so
for the beer garden or for the whole place?
For any of the exposure outside that
That
building.
physical building.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, just every day there's a new story of where you find a gap in somebody's current coverage. So I always just say, it's good, especially if you've had your insurance with the same place for a long time.
Right.
Have a fresh set of eyes on it. I mean,
Right.
I really don't mind looking to see, what kind of counsel you might need. And, we might not be able to help with the insurance, but, some good advice.
It's better than that. Are there any businesses you can't insure?
No.
Well,
we
I've
pretty
heard
much
that,
have a market. We write in every state. We write with hundreds of insurance companies.
I've heard that the marijuana vendors have had some problems with people not wanting to do business.
Yeah,
because of
and
the
we've got
federal
markets
law.
for that too.
Do you really? Wow. That's funny.
Well, and that's because you're an independent broker, right?
Right.
So that's different than, say, some of the bigger names out there.
Well, there's captive and then there's independent, like State Farm, that's captive.
Okay.
But we're an independent agency, so we write with several companies. We write with names you'd know like Progressive and Travelers and some of those, Liberty.
When one of your clients has a claim, are you made aware of that?
We always hope we're made aware of that because sometimes you need to counsel them through it.
What kind of claims do you see typically? What's your most common?
Auto.
Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why the rates
Yeah.
are so high across the board.
Interesting.
All right. So what type of business insurance would you like to write more of?
Well, we love restaurants. We love contractors. And one of the reasons we love contractors is they seem to need the most help. And I mean that in a great way. Yeah, because they don't want to.
Because they're flying by the seat of their pants.
They are. They just want to get back on the job.
I got to get that. Let me get back to
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
often you really find that, you don't have tool coverage or you don't have some of these big coverages that you really need to have because they don't know. They want to get that paycheck. So they need their certificate of insurance and they don't really care outside of that.
What would you like people to know about you and about Diamond Cut Insurance?
I guess what I would like you to know is that with so many independent agencies being sold out to big conglomerates, big investment firms, we're not going anywhere. We're not selling. We love being local and part of the community, and we're a woman-owned business. So we're proud of that. Yeah.
Cool. Not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Be around. And I think it's really great to have the ability to have somebody that has a big picture look, that counseling, the way of looking at, let's just make sure you're covered.
Caring for your customers.
Yeah. If somebody wanted to get a business quote, what's the best way to connect them with you?
Well, you can always call any of our amazing agents. We're at 425-361-2584. You can always go online at dcigi.com.
If you Google Diamond Cut Insurance,
I'm sure.
should come up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or you can
You can just give us a call
Yeah.
at the Eastside Real Estate
We're
team.
pretty
We'd be
easy to
happy
get a hold
help
of.
Crystal,
Awesome.
thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan at 1150 KKNW. After the break, we have some more Real Talk and, of course, some great final thoughts. We'll be right back.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Are you a local business that believes in having a local insurance agent? So many people are finding their insurance agency has recently sold out and are now having to contact a call center that is typically out of state, occasionally out of the country. At Diamond Cut Insurance, we are a local family-run agency who will not be selling out. We are not an 800 number, and we strongly believe in being a functioning member of the community in which we call home. We are here to be your local business insurance agency, and we want to get to know you and your business and write your insurance. We have access to hundreds of insurance companies and can write in any state. If we can't find you a better policy than what you currently have, then we will tell you. We want to make sure that you're insured correctly. And we have built our business on relationships, not closing sales. Diamond Cut Insurance, specializing in business insurance. To learn more about what we do and how we can help insure your business, you can go to our website at dcigi.com or call us at 425-361-2584. Again, that is dcigi.com.
No other station delivers this much variety. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW. I'm Dan.
I'm Brian.
I kind of went backwards on that. Sorry about that.
I don't care.
Well, cool show today, huh?
Yeah, very fun.
I really enjoyed hearing from Paul and Crystal as well. Just a lot of great information. And when I think about the community, right, and I think about the people that help build and make the East Side kind of the way it is, it's people like Paul and Crystal.
Right. And my great final thought here, had a little chat with Crystal during the break. Something she wished she got in there was only work with a licensed contractor.
Yeah.
And one of the things you can do is if you jump on the Washington State L&I website, you can check a license right there. Everybody that's licensed for pretty much anything. I bet your license is there. I know mine is.
Yep.
But contractors, check their license, check their bond, make sure that they're the real deal. I can tell you quite a few horror stories of people that have engaged unlicensed workers who have gotten not gotten what they bargained for, gotten taken for a ride. And
Brian, you know, I recently had my remodeling done.
You
know,
did.
and went through that experience. I didn't hire everybody I talked to, but I talked to a lot. But the interesting part is because our economy is so hot, so many homes are being built. A lot of the skilled laborers are out there in the community, and they're working. You know, and they're getting paid. And then the ones that maybe have time and availability are maybe a little less skilled, right? Because a lot of the builders, a lot of the people, they're going to hire this skilled first, and then you're going tier down. So you really have to be
good people are busy people.
Yeah. That's why I'm so busy, right?
Yeah,
Brian?
that's right. Me too. Crystal, anything you want to add to that?
About hiring a license, yeah?
No, I just think it's really important because that is a lot of the claims that we see as well is not our customers, but sometimes, like let's say we have a building owner who finds out that whoever is renting their space uses a contractor. Well, everybody gets named in a lawsuit.
That's right. Yeah. Rule number one of real estate litigation, the broker always gets sued. So, you know, it's even to the point where Dan and I, in our process, in listing a home, we'll do a home inspection, a whole house inspection, and recommend that any structural items be repaired. And I have times when homeowners want to jump in and do the repair, and it's like, no, it's too easy to get painted with a flipper brush. Somebody makes a claim, you've got a lot of explaining. So we always bring in a licensed contractor.
Licensed bonded contractor.
Right.
Also, when I write up, man, we could actually do a show on this, like buyer inspection contingencies. Whenever I request on behalf of my clients, I'm always, and this is Brian who taught me how to do this, is who, what, when, where, why, what.
Right.
I mean, it's so detailed. So, you know, the seller shall, prior to close with a licensed contractor, do X, Y, or Z. So we're always being very, very specific in our language so that it gets done. I've had people send stuff over for the seller saying,
we recommend. Recommendation accepted.
Yes, we accept. Basically, the language is ambiguous, right? It says recommend repair or service furnace. And that's how they're requesting the service to be furnished. The furnace to be serviced. Hello. Rather than being specific, they're doing that. Right. So it's kind of, having a good contractor, having things spelled out specifically. Yeah. Boy, I mean, and then flipping a house, asking if you're buying a home that was flipped, were they a licensed bonded person?
Right.
And your agent should be able to help you find that
know
out.
that. And then I think the other thing is doing the work in such a way that, I mean, when I'm representing a buyer, we're getting a re-inspect. We're having the inspector come back and make sure the work was done right. Because you'll be surprised how many times contractors will cut corners.
Well, what do you got? Anything coming on the market?
I have a beautiful 2-story in Snohomish, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
Yep.
Private lot, $755,000. We've done our pre-inspect. We brought in a licensed, bonded, insured contractor to complete all repairs.
Yep.
We're move-in ready.
Move-in ready.
$755,000.
And it's a great location, close to downtown Snohomish.
Yeah,
right?
Lake Washington Schools.
Lake Washington Schools.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a lot
Emery
going
Hill.
for it.
It's a good one. How
Now,
about you?
if you want to live in the woods, right? If you are moving to the Northwest or you just moved here and you're like, man, I want to live in the woods. Well, Redmond has the zip code 98053, and that is Union Hill, and that's the east side of Redmond. Kind of, there's some other areas out there would be Ames Lake.
Towards Ames Lake, right?
So I listed a home over there. It's on an acre, and it's kind of like a tree house. Like you look out the windows, you see nothing but fir trees, and it's actually very sunny because actually some of the trees in the southeast have been cut back. And so there's a nice little deck out front. You get some sunshine because I know a lot of people living in the woods are kind of like, well, it's dark, but this one's got some clearing. But it definitely is a home in the woods on an acre, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, $660,000.
Wow.
It's very reasonably priced.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what we've got going on.
So what's happening this week? What's fun to
Okay,
do?
so let's see. The Aloha-themed Seattle Night Market will be taking place this Saturday. It's hyper-local, globally inspired. We'll be celebrating Polynesian culture from around the world. Curbside at South Lake Union, August 17th from 4 p.m. 100 food trucks, pop-ups, and handmade-inspired global destinations around the world. There will also be live entertainment and a free 21-plus Moonlight Cinema series on Lake Union. So check that out. Great show this week. We want to thank all of our listeners. Thanks for subscribing to our podcast and listening to us talk about real estate and some great local charities and business. Brian?
All right. Till next week. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.